Yeah. Please. Dr. Omane Boamah. Dr. Omane Boamah. Doctor, you're welcome. Doctor, I'm good.
Wait for command. Just take your time. First Bearer Party, please move now.
The first casket has just been seen at the tail of the
first Bearer Party is now marching
and the Ghana flag, red, gold, green. Of course, these were gentlemen who were all on national assignment, who were not on some frolic of their own. They were on a national assignment to the Obuasi, where the government was launching an event, and that is where this was happening. And any moment from now, these caskets will all make their way to the tables.
When the casket is moving towards the Qatar flag and it passes in front of you, I'll request that all military personnel will pay the appropriate compliments as they pass by to the Qatar flag. The firing party is now ready. Firing party. A request for us to pay the appropriate compliments as the casket moves into position. Second Qatar flag will now commence movement to the aircraft. Second bearer party will now commence movement to the aircraft.
There's a lot of tears among some members of the Ghana Armed Forces who are here. Of course, some of these pilots and flight crew were their colleagues. They operated together from this Air Force base every day, operating and performing their responsibilities as members of the Ghana Armed Forces. And today, some of their colleagues went out there this morning and have not returned. A very tragic accident. And so just in front of me, I see 2 members of the Ghana Forces in an embrace, really in tears about this very tragic accident that has claimed the life of 8 people, 5 government officials, and 3 members of the Ghana Armed Forces and the crew that were carrying them to this national assignment and duty tour.
The second casket has been received by the second bearer party, and they will be now moving to the second cutter flag. The third bearer party is now moving to the aircraft to receive the third casket. Let's pay the appropriate compliments as the third casket moves to the cutter flag.
All 8 caskets will make their way to the cutter flag as you hear the announcement on the PA system, and 3 of them are currently out of the flight. The remaining 5 will also be taken out in the same fashion. The Ghana Armed Forces men and women who are on this ground have prepared for this. When we came here, there were a couple of rehearsals ongoing, and so the burial parties march the flight. They take the caskets and they move it to the cutter flag, and then once it is lowered down to the cutter flag, they make their way back to the flight to pick the next casket. And so they are going to do this in turn until all 8 caskets, signifying and representing all 8 people, all 8 persons who tragically passed away in this helicopter crash in the Adansi area in the Ashanti region, are all moved. And when they do, there are clergymen and women here, as well as imams, who are representing the religious backgrounds
is now ready to receive
persons who have tragically passed.
Casket.
There will be short prayers on them before this ceremony, very brief ceremony to receive the bodies of these persons to be brought to an end.
And the fourth casket is now being moved to be placed on the fourth catafalque. The fifth bearer party.
Hi, I'm Queen Tay. Supporting my community makes me smile.
Let's pay the appropriate compliments as the fifth casket is moved to the fifth catafalque. We now have the sixth bearer party moving to receive the sixth casket. Request that all those who are standing behind the catafalques should move to enable the ceremony to go on smoothly. The seventh bearer party, or the sixth bearer party, is now moving with the casket to the sixth catafalque. Let's pay the appropriate compliments as they pass by. We now have the 7th bearer party moving to the tail of the aircraft for the 7th caskets. After all the caskets have been retrieved from the aircraft, we will hand over to the clergy to commence the religious aspects of this brief ceremony, where they will be saying prayers before movement of the bodies or the caskets to the morgue. We are all aware of this unfortunate incident. We have the 7th bearer party moving with the caskets to the 7th charter flag. The 8th bearer party is now moving to also pick up the 8th and final casket to be placed on the 8th charter flag. We now have the 8th and last casket being moved from the aircraft to the 8th charter flag.
So all 8 persons whose bodies have been brought from the Ashanti region have all now been taken out of the flight.
That's been appropriate compliments as the casket passes by.
The next order of business will be for this ceremony to be handed over to the clergy, the religious leaders who are here to take the ceremony to the next level. We understand there will be brief prayers that will be said